Hello, readers. So last week we read from Shenandoah Insects in our mentor text, and we learned that readers can define unfamiliar words using context clues, such as examples in a text. But what if there are no clues in the text or the photographs? So if there are no clues and readers like us can't rely on context to help them, they use tools such as a dictionary, a glossary in the back of a text, or a thesaurus, which list related words, and synonyms, which are words that are similar. Today, we're going to learn how resources can help us determine word meanings. So today I'm going to be reading from The Possum, an excerpt from Suburbia by Tay Moss. Late one summer night, I opened the back door to let Arrow out into the yard. When I went to let her in a few minutes later, she wasn't waiting at the door. Stepping out onto the deck, I heard a commotion at the end of the yard. I ran toward the sound and found Arrow with her jaws buried in the fur of a possum. When I read this first paragraph, I didn't really know what this word meant, possum. So, since I didn't know, before I go to the resources, I always try to use context clues. The last sentence in the paragraph says, jaws buried in her fur. And it results in of an opossum. This helps me infer that an opossum is an animal, but I still need to go to a resource. There's no glossary in this text, so that resource won't help. When I look for opossum in the thesaurus, I see a list of other animals in the category of marsupials. This tells me that an opossum is a marsupial, but I don't know what that is. When I went to go look in a dictionary, however, I see a lot of information. So the syllabication guide shows me that opossum has 3 syllables, O-poss-um. So it's broken up into 3 parts. The pronunciation guide shows me how to pronounce the word opossum. I also learned what part of speech this is. And it says opossum is a noun, so it's written and it's a noun. So the definition tells me what the word means. It says an opossum is an American marsupial. Females carry their young in pouches. If a word has more than one part of speech or definition listed, I have to use context clues and prior knowledge to figure out the correct part of speech and meaning. So here I wrote my definition that I found in the dictionary, and I'm going to put that here to help me remember what this word means. If I want to know how a word is pronounced, I would use a dictionary. Dictionaries may not always be what you need depending on the word you're looking for. So what I'm going to do is show you when to use resources to solve unfamiliar words. So I've created an anchor chart that tells you when to use resources to solve unfamiliar words. And the 2 situations that you would need a separate resource is when there are no context clues, meaning no photos, there's no surrounding words that help you figure it out, and when you want to confirm your definition. Some resources that you're able to use are a glossary, which are words from a book, parts of speech, like I showed you in Red-tailed Angels. There was glossaries at the end of that mentor text. Print or online dictionaries, and since we're virtual, online is probably the better option. They help you with pronunciation, how to say words, parts of speech, how it's broken up, or maybe even a definition, which tells you what the word means. And then the last resource would be a thesaurus. And thesaurus tells you some synonyms and antonyms, which are similar and different words to the word that you found in a story. So what I want you to do now is practice this same strategy. When you don't have a word and you don't know what word to use, you're going to determine when to use a resource and what resources to use. So you are going to pause the video, you're going to read through paragraph 2, and you're going to circle some unknown words and try to define it using context clues and write your definitions in Schoology. If you would like to also follow along in the virtual mentor text, you can also do that. I'm going to give you a couple options if you want to work with these and tell me what you think they mean in Schoology. The first word we're going to look at is seized. The second word is hustled. The third word is motionless. And then the last word is protruding. This is going to be your Schoology assignment. But if you would like an extra challenge, go ahead and figure out the other 3 words. Or if you already know it, then you can go ahead and put that in as well. Good luck, readers.